Welcome to From Beyond with your host, Glenn Boddice. Join me as we explore spirituality, self-help, and channeling spirits. Hello and welcome to From Beyond with your host, Glenn Boddice, spiritual medium. Thank you for tuning in for another very interesting episode. As in this week's show, we're going to be discussing the topic of grounding your energy. Also in this week's episode, we have the channeling from the world of spirit, which sees me becoming a vessel in order for them to bring their wisdom and communications through. And then later on in the show, we have this week's energy forecast reading, which will hopefully help you navigate your way through the twists and turns of this week ahead. So without further ado, we're going to be talking today, as I say, grounding your energy. So when we know that we need to ground our energy, usually there's a lot of telltale signs to look out for. And I'm going to go through some of these signs with you so that it gives you that heads up, so to speak, so you know that you need to ground your energy. Some of these things are, the obvious one is feeling overwhelmed, very hypersensitive. You're picking up on other people's emotions, their thoughts, their energies, also the energies within the environments that you happen to be visiting or happen to be in. For example, you could walk down a busy city centre or a street there, and all of a sudden you feel like everything is coming at you from every angle. Noises, thoughts, emotions, feelings, and you start to feel boxed in, yet you're feeling overwhelmed with all of these sensory experiences. And it can be very intimidating at the time when you're going through that process. You just feel that need, I need to get out of here, I need to get out of here, and you just overwhelming sensation of that, and it can be very triggering when you do reach this crescendo, with your sensitivity. Also, this will bring forward a level of anxiety, as you can imagine, and it can lead you down that avenue of overthinking absolutely everything from a mundane everyday task to something quite complex, like decisions that you have to make in your life. And they may be going round in your head. You're doing somersaults in your head, going over the same old thing. And again, you just get this feeling of feeling trapped, and you just want to get out of that place. Obviously, with you experiencing this in your mind, in your thoughts, it's a little bit more difficult than physically moving out of the place. So this is another telltale sign that, you're hypersensitive and you do need to ground your energy. Definitely, it's not a very nice place to be in. Also, another symptom I would certainly suggest is feeling hyperactive, fidgety, out of balance, twitching, and, can't keep still, tapping on things. And for me personally, this is something that I've experienced right from being a child. As you know, I'm a musician. I happen to be a drummer and a singer. And what I've experienced throughout my life is when I'm feeling hyperstimulated, I start to get twitchy and I start tapping on things. I'm tapping on my legs. I remember as a child at the Sunday dinner table there, and I was picking up my knife and fork and doing drum rolls on the condiments, such as, the English mustard and things like that. And it was making a clang wallop. And for anybody else that was there at the dinner table, it was very annoying, this tip-tap, tip-tap. Yet I was finding this a great sense of release and relief, because it was a way of expressing all of this energy out of me so that I could feel more calm and relaxed. And in actual fact, with me being a drummer, I would say that this has certainly helped to keep me grounded over the years. When I'm feeling, overwhelmed with thoughts or emotions, luckily enough for me, I have many drum kits, but the one that I keep up in the house is an electric drum kit. So I don't always turn the pads on, but I can tip tap on the pads, like practice pads, when I feel the urge to do so. So sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I run over to the kit, and I may have 10, 15 minutes just tapping around and riffing around on the kit with various drum beats. And whilst I'm doing that, it enables all of this energy to be discharged from me, so to speak. It also restores that level of balance in my mind where I've perhaps been overthinking things or missing out on information, not being able to listen to people because I haven't been present because of this overwhelming sensation of hyperactivity. So for me, the drumming, the tip-tapping around on the kit, the practice kit, it certainly helps to alleviate some of those symptoms that I even to this age, even now, I still experience, not on a daily basis. I would say, every few days I get that urge to tip tap and let some of these energies be expressed through me. And it, like I say, it allows me to feel calm, more level-headed, and I can function at a more balanced rate in my life. So, watch out for the hyperactivity. And like I say, being out of balance. When you're out of balance, obviously, everything's like topsy-turvy. You may be overthinking, like I've just mentioned there. You may be over-processing your emotions and looking deeper into them, putting 2 and 2 together and coming out with 25. It can get to that level when you are feeling overwhelmed and also out of balance with your energies. So again, these are telltale signs to look out for. In order to alleviate some of these conditions that I'm describing to you, there's various methods that we can employ in order to get back in balance and feel 100% in our vibration. You'll feel the need to balance. Obviously, when you're out of balance, it's too much of something, not enough of the other. So you'll start to feel overwhelmed. You'll feel like you need that time out, maybe time alone for self-reflection. You'll just need to get out of there, and you'll just experience that on a deeper level. It will become very obvious to you if left unchecked. And what I mean by that is you will reach a point, I would say, where potentially you could face burnout. And burnout can be where you've been giving too much energy to something, too much thought, too much emotions, maybe physical energy, and you haven't got nothing left in the tank. And so you'll find yourself having flu-like symptoms, aching in the limbs there. You may feel lethargic, dozing off to sleep, catnapping in the afternoon, and generally not showing any interest in any conversation or what anybody else has to say. You just haven't got the capacity to compute it in your mind or engage yourself with it because you're overstimulated and you've been doing far too much. So if left untreated or observed, all of these hypersensitivities and overthinking and all of that, then potentially it could lead to burnout. So you will naturally, in my experience, feel a need to take some time out and reinstate that balance in your life. Something that I love to do to calm my energy, as you know, being a musician, I find music is a great tonic. And I believe we spoke on this subject before, where it's just a case of you actually feeling into what music feels right for you at that moment in time, because the frequencies in the composition of the music will calm you, your mind, your body, your spirit. This is a great source to bring yourself back into your present moment consciousness and to bring and instill that calmness in your vibration. So music plays a very vital role. And as you may have heard me say before, what I find very, very therapeutic, probably not to most, but to me, it certainly works. And this is, I'm a big fan of retro comedy. So I'm going back to the 60s, the 1970s, the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s there. I'm a big fan of sitcoms and comedy of that sort of drama comedy, things like that. And so when I feel the urge, when my week is building up to a crescendo and everything's starting to begin to overwhelm me, this is where I know towards the weekend I'm going to take some time out and I'm just going to sit and I'm going to feel into the energy. What show do I need to watch? What TV show do I need to watch? And I've got a vast array of DVDs in my collection. Yes, I am old school. I still listen, still watch and take part with DVDs. So I look through those and I feel, what do I need at this moment in time to watch? And I put that on. And similar to music, I absorb the show. I absorb the energy in the show. Obviously, some of the shows I've seen multiple times, so I know what gags are coming up. I know the jokes and everything, but it's not always about that with myself. It can be about the vibration of the show. So the way that the show has been produced, the lighting, the decor, the clothing, the characters in the show all add up in terms of vibration. And I find just by being in that energy, watching it, observing it, it certainly brings me back to myself again. And I would describe it as having a clean slate. It cleans my drives, so to speak, my mental, my emotional, my physical. It just resets me back to factory default settings where I can feel calm, relaxed, and ready and clear for the week that's about to unfold. So that's just a little technique that I use, and it does certainly work for me. It helps me to calm my energy, and it just brings me back to center, if you will. It brings me in that present moment state of consciousness where I'm not overanalyzing what I did in my past and the work that I've done in my past, the clients that I've worked with in my past. It's allowing all of that to go. It's also allowing me not to overthink future endeavors, future projects, people, my timeline. It's taking me out of that feeling of feeling anxious, and it's bringing me back into self. So it's a beautiful tool. So I'm sure those of you that are listening have your own unique methods in order to bring your vibration back to self, back to center. Some people enjoy art or craft. They find that keeping themselves busy in that respect, maybe painting or sketching or even crocheting or something of that nature, it can just bring and instill that level of calmness where everything else is pushed to the side and you're just being present within that project that you're working on. And probably like myself, these individuals that do this, it's like me with drumming and music. I find that I need that sort of release valve, that mechanism to let that abundance of energy out. And to people that enjoy art and crafts, this is their release valve. It allows them the gift of expression, maybe some emotions that you've been holding up with inside yourself. They may manifest into creative energy. You're turning, in a way, you're transmuting that energy, turning it from negative into positive. And so in many respects, you're a bit of an alchemist without even realizing it. So when you do feel that urge or inclination, excuse me, to utilize artist expression, and you don't have to be, the next Van Gogh or anything like that. Just allow yourself to let that energy flow through you. What you will find, actually, I've noticed this for a few years now, on the market, there's a lot of adult coloring books. And I would say, I've never owned one or used one myself, but I certainly think this is a marvelous idea. Again, it's sort of encouraging. It doesn't matter what age you're at. We all need that outlet, don't we? We all need that expression. Again, we're all alchemists, turning those negative energies into positive energies by allowing that expression to move through us. Again, you don't have to be the next Picasso or anything like that. Just get yourself some felt felt tip pens, one of these adult colouring books, and just go with it, and I would certainly suggest notice how you feel before embarking on that exercise, and then observe how you feel after maybe completing a colouring. I know that sounds bonkers to most of you that are listening to this, but in actual fact, there will be a massive shift in your energy, in your vibration once you've done that. And I would certainly suggest that a lot of us, it doesn't matter what age you happen to be, we need this outlet in some way, shape or form, because we're kind of boxed in life, aren't we? We're told what to do, where to go, who to speak to. You've got to go to work from this hour to this hour. And you feel continually placed inside this box where you need that sense of freedom. So any form of artistry or creativity or, music or therapy or movement or dance, we all need that. And I dare say, if we're all honest with ourselves, there's a part of us that craves that. Some people say, I haven't got time for it. I'd love to do it, but I haven't got time to do it. I would certainly suggest to make time, even if it's 5 minutes, when you feel that inclination to express that inner you into this reality. Allow yourself permission to do that, because this will be, no doubt, part of the therapy that you need in order to release some of those shackles and burdens that you've been getting involved with every day-to-day life. So that's a few little techniques to help you to get into this vibration. But I would certainly say there's a few techniques I'd like to share with you that I find very, very effective when it comes to grounding your energy, bringing yourself back to center. Excuse me. And one of these techniques is something that there's no excuses. Everybody can do this. Okay, and this is, in order to ground your energy, bring yourself back to center, I would certainly suggest that you focus on your senses. So first of all, I'll give you an example. For example, if you're sat in your living room, okay, and you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling hyperactive, all of the symptoms I've been describing to you, then first of all, I would certainly suggest that you focus on your vision, your eyesight. Take a good look at your surroundings in the room. Look at the colours. Look at the layout of the room. Look at the textures on the wallpaper or the floor there. Look at the items in the room and really take in that detail. And whilst you're focusing in your attention on all of those details, what this is doing is it's pulling your vibration back to center. It's bringing your vibration back and grounding you. Along with that, I would certainly recommend that you use your hearing as well. Excuse me. And your hearing, this is where you're listening out for the sounds in that room, in that environment. Is there any clicks maybe coming from a radiator? Is there any external noise, maybe cars driving by your front window or dogs barking in the background? Do you live in a busy household? Have you got children? Can you hear them laughing, joking, or maybe arguing? Can you hear, for example, the kettle boiling and just about to click there? Whatever your situation is, I want you to focus in on what you can hear and really focus and pick out those sounds and what they are. Because what this will in turn do as well, it will again anchor and ground your energy. It will bring you back to center. And then, of course, we've got, excuse me, I keep doing some coughing today. Maybe I need to do more grounding or I need a drink or something. Anyway, please forgive me for doing that. But yes, so we've got your other senses. We've got your sense of smell. Again, have a good smell in the living room. What can you smell? What fragrances are you picking up there? Does it smell damp? Can you smell the air freshener plugins that are kicking in? Can you smell your own deodorant? I know I'm sounding a little bit crazy here. Can you smell your tea cooking? Again, focusing in on all of these aspects will bring you back to center. Also tasting as well. Tasting is a good one. Now, even if you haven't had anything to eat or drink, usually most of us, we have a taste in our own taste in our palate, in our mouth there. Just observe that. Is it telling you need a drink? Do you feel hungry? Have you got a craving? Again, that will bring you back to center and ground your energy. The next thing is, I would say, your physicality, your physical body there. If you're sat on a settee in your living room, how does that settee feel when you're sat on it? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel relaxed? Do you feel all of that pressure being taken off your legs and your feet as you're sat there? Also, using the gift of touch, maybe touch the settee, feel the texture. How does that feel? Does it feel rough, smooth, whatever the situation is? Just focus your attention on all of that information. And again, this will bring you back into center and ground your energy back into self there. And then I would say this can be a tricky one. This is your emotions, your feelings, because it can lead you down a blind alley when we focus too much on our emotions, because it can bring us back into being hypersensitive. So I would say just monitor your emotions. Do you feel happy? Do you feel sad? Do you feel disenchanted? Whatever the emotion is, again, put your attention on it and focus in on that. And that will inevitably, after a while, ground your energy and bring you back to center when you're observing with non-attachment to your emotions. That is the caveat with your emotions, because it's so easy to get entwined in the emotion, isn't it? Just observe them, non-attachment, and that can in turn bring you back to center and ground your energy. The next thing is, I would say, temperature in the room that you're located in. Is it warm? Is it tepid? Is it cold? Is it freezing? And observe that, placing your attention on that experience alone. It can take a great deal of concentration to segregate all of these elements within your senses, but I certainly experience when I do this, it brings you back to center and brings you back to self. It gets you out of your head from overthinking, being overstimulated. When we break some of our senses down in this manner, it allows us to focus and to be more present with them. So that is a technique I'd like to share with you that everybody can do. And when you go through that check with all of those sensors in that moment in your living room there, what you will find is no longer will you be stuck in your thoughts, your emotions. You'll be more present and aware of your surroundings. And it's a beautiful place to be in when we're present, isn't it? We can be working at our full potential when we're all present and grounded. Another technique there's probably one of the obvious ones I'd love to share with you, and this is nature. Nature is an instant tonic, and I'm sure a lot of you listening to this will agree with me on this one. The moment that you move out of your normality, maybe your home, your workplace, or your car, or whatever, and you go somewhere where there's an abundance of nature, going outside, just the act of doing that in itself, going where there's greenery, grass, maybe trees, countryside, sea, or even rivers or streams, it instantly calms us. One of these things could be a lot of those locations are naturally quiet. They're not overpopulated with people, so to speak. You may see the odd one or two rambler walking by you or dog walker, but predominantly they're very sort of calming, still areas there. And just that alone can shift your vibration from feeling overstimulated, overwhelmed, that so many of us experience when we're in our day-to-day life, moving through towns, cities, and busy hustle and bustle like that. The contrast alone will calm your vibration. But what also occurs is, I would say, the colours, the smells. Again, going back to what we were saying earlier about all of your senses. All of your senses will be online, and you'll be experiencing them on a more, I would say, balanced plateau where you're aware, like I say, colours, smells, sounds of nature, bird song, maybe ducks that are quacking away there in the background, people chattering, maybe ramblers that are walking by you there. Even the temperature, that cool breeze just brushing across your face there can make a world of difference when it comes to grounding and anchoring your vibration. And you'll notice that your blood pressure will drop, and you'll feel really calm, really chilled out, really laid back. And you'll just notice that having spent a little bit of time in nature, not only is the air more cleaner, more fresher, it will have a tendency to make you feel a little bit lethargic and tired and very restful. It's very relaxing, isn't it? How nature can envelope us. And this is something that I like to do, as you've probably heard me say on here many, many times before. When I'm inspired to do it, I like to go on my adventures. And these adventures can take me anywhere in the UK. And sometimes I'm inspired, I have to go near where there's an ocean, where there's sea, a seaside resort or something where there's sea. And I can't put my finger on it why I need to go there, but I just feel it in my core being. And so I make the necessary arrangements and I travel over where there's sea. And I just walk by the sea, I watch the sea, it puts me in that trance-like state, calms my vibration. The smell of the sea in the air as well can be very intoxicating in a very positive manner. So I'm feeling all and experiencing all of that when I feel drawn to the ocean there. And after spending time in that area, I do feel rejuvenated. It just feels like the slate has been wiped cleaned. I just feel a completely different person, and I go away from that experience more positive, full of inspiration, more ideas there, and I've got more vigor, get up and go about me once I've had that experience. Sometimes, like I say, I'm inclined to go where there's a lot of open land, countryside. For example, the Lake District or Scotland or even Wales for that matter. Some of the scenery in those locations, as I'm sure most of you will be aware, are so picturesque. They are jaw-droppingly stunning that you can't help but anchor and ground your energies in that wonder of witnessing and being involved in that environment. That is certainly my experience anyway, with nature. It is a massive tonic, and it's something that we can all do. You know, we can all make that conscious decision that we need a change of scenery. We need to go where there's not a lot of people, and we can just revert back to nature. And a lot of people talk about barefoot walking as well when they're out in nature. Now, it's not something that I do, simply because, I'm a bit funny with my feet, like most people are. But I'm not opposed to the idea, if you feel the urge to maybe walk barefoot in nature in that environment. They say that the ions from Mother Earth and your bare feet as well can be exchanged, and there's this energy exchange that clears your vibration in such a manner that it's very therapeutic, healing and energizing for you. Also, people talk about tree hugging as well. That can be very grounding, anchoring, and that beautiful exchange in energy where you're letting some of those old vibrations go from yourself. And again, welcoming Mother Nature to take them away from you to be healed and cleansed, so you feel more rejuvenated, aligned and balanced there. Now, that is something that I do like to do, tree hugging. And some people feel embarrassed about doing it, but no, I'm not bothered. The experience far outweighs the embarrassment factor for me when I'm out in nature and I spot a really attractive tree, so to speak. It's pulling my energies towards it. So I do like to tree hug. I find it very restorative, definitely. Also, another way of grounding and anchoring your energy is sacred breath work. And I'm sure most of you listening to this will recognize that we all, if we're honest with ourselves, most of us work on fight or flight mode. And with having said that, our breathing is very short, shallow, rapid, and this can cause all manner of issues. It can cause high blood pressure, headaches there. It can make us feel tired, lethargic, also chest problems, and just make us feel generally not fully there, not fully aligned with the truth of who we are. So the sacred breath work, I would say, and again, this will calm down the adrenaline gland when you follow the sacred breath work. And that would be in through the nose for 5 seconds. Really take that breath in and fill your lungs up to their full capacity. And then I would recommend that you hold that breath in the lungs for as long as you possibly can until it starts to tingle and starts to feel uncomfortable for you. Then release that air, big long exhalation of breath through your mouth. And by doing this and getting into this level of low and slow breathing, you'll start to feel all of that tension being released from your physical body. The headaches that you've been experiencing, that pounding of the head, will start to calm down. You'll feel more relaxed. You'll feel more in alignment. And generally, you'll feel more you again, rather than acting on adrenaline and maybe hypersensitive, overstimulated. So breath work is not to be underestimated. And it's something that we can all do if we're prepared to be more observational and conscious of our breathing. And you can do this, obviously, without anybody else knowing what you're doing. That's the beauty of breath work. Or there are various groups that you can attend that encourages breath work, guided breath work, which will take it to another level. So whichever you feel drawn to experience, but it will make a substantial change where it comes to you grounding your energy and bringing yourself back to center there. Also, when you're grounded, when you're back in center, you have a more trusting vibration about you. You go with the flow. You don't necessarily get triggered by other people's vibration as much as you did as well. You have a sense of calmness. You feel balanced in your vibration. And also this allows you to have a different viewpoint. Maybe before being grounded and balanced, you had a fixed narrative, the way that things needed to be in your mind. Being grounded, being present, being balanced allows you to be open to influences from your higher self, the world of spirit, and it makes you more effective, both mentally, emotionally, and physically. So the next time you're feeling overwhelmed and overstimulated, maybe just have a listen to this episode, listen back to it, and utilize some of the techniques and strategies that we've shared with you today in order for you to bring yourself back to center and be the best version of yourself in your present moment consciousness. Well, we're now going to move into the next segment of the show, which is the channeled section, which sees me becoming a vessel for spirit to bring their wisdom and communications through. But ahead of doing that, I'd like to wish you all a happy new year. How's your new year going for you? Have you noticed any energy changes? Have you made any New Year's resolutions? Some people still do that, other people's generally don't. But how are you feeling? I know personally I'm feeling very optimistic. I'm finding myself taking a bit of a step back so far and going into that vibration of trust. And it's not always easy, as we know, but nevertheless, I'm just going to step out my own way. So far this year, that's the way it's going for me. And I'm just going to trust. So how's it going for you? Maybe take some time out to reevaluate and relax and just check in with yourself. Because after all, we're all very, very busy, aren't we? So sometimes it's nice to take that time out just to touch base with yourself to find out what you like, what you don't like, where you're at in your life, where you want to be in your life, and then we can make those necessary changes and tweaks in order to flow gracefully into our year of 2025. So as I say, we're now going to move into the next segment of the show, which is the channeling from the world of spirit. So I'm very excited to see what spirit have to bring forward, as this will be the first channeling of 2025. So sit back, relax, grab a pen and paper if you wish to take notes, and enjoy this week's channeling from the world of spirit. We understand that you're all going through a transitional phase within your lives at this present moment in time. A lot of you will be facing emotional upheaval and triggers, as you would put it. What we mean by that is situations or some sort of life lesson unfolding right beneath your eyes that you have to go and walk through. And although it will feel rather uncomfortable to you and it will bring up your old responses to the surface. These old responses are what have kept you small and treading water. So it's obviously your choice to make a choice on this occasion, whether you repeat those patterns and have to repeat them until you finally get the lesson, or you walk through that feeling of fear and upheaval, that trigger feeling, and walk beyond the illusion of feeling stuck and feeling frustrated. And when you walk in faith and trust, you'll notice that your life will move into wonderful, amazing, and fantastical experiences beyond anything you've ever comprehended or experienced in your timeline prior to this unfolding. This is a lot of you who are listening. This is your ultimate test, ultimate calling. And this calling is urging you to walk in faith and to trust those deep feelings that you are feeling when you are confronted with this trigger moment. It's a beautiful experience, and one that needs to be embraced with both hands. A lot of you will be experiencing at this moment in time confusion, and this is simply because of the narrative that has been preached to you and has been promoted to you from other members of society that do not align with your vibration. With this being said, you are to read between the lines and trust the feelings that you are feeling in the information that is being exchanged. Because when you do this, you will notice that it's not ringing true, it's not harmonizing with the truth vibrations, and instead is masquerading as a beneficial piece of information that will inspire you, but in actual fact it's not. It's there to doctrinize you, to keep you small, to keep you stagnant, and also to put you under the spell of mind control, to stop you having your own thoughts and your own mind. As a lot of you will be experiencing collectively, this is the program. In order to keep you small, they keep you in your mind a lot of the time, and they keep you busy in your mind, too busy in fact, that you are unable to have the freedom of thought and to see the truth when it is right under your nose all along. This is where taking time out and trusting your emotions, getting out in nature, and connecting to your truth and your nature will come in extremely handy to you all, because this is what the collective controlling elite don't want you to do. They want to keep you in your mind. They want to keep you bombarded by one thought, by one distraction, by another distraction. And if you notice, this is the general consensus. This is the general narrative that you'll hear. There's a piece of news that has shocking implications and triggers a lot of you by hearing the news and by hearing the pieces of information, puts you into that fear state. And the minute you're in that fear state, they throw another curveball at you, shall we say, to offer some more localized or nationalized or globalized news that puts you and keeps you in that vibration of fear and low vibration. Again, this puts you and adds to that fear and frustration, and then you hear about somebody doing this and somebody doing that. All these things are distractions to keep you out of your mind, to keep you too busy in your head to actually calculate and understand the truth of what is really going on. Many of you will be aware of these tactics now because they're implemented within your society time after time. And that is where, shall we say, the ruling elite brings forward a narrative, puts the narrative in front of you and saying, oh, what a shame, this is terrible, we need to do something about it. They then propose something to do about it, and they put that into motion. And in actual fact, that has been their agenda, their plan all along. It's simply down to the fact that they needed your what's the word I'm searching for? They needed your participation, your energy in order to push it through and to bring it into form. Because, let's face it, when there's more people believing the same thing, the energy is greater, and therefore easier to manifest and bring into your reality. But because you have been so busy in your minds and distracted, you're not rationalizing and seeing the truth in these statements that are being shared with you from the global elites, shall we say. Now, if you were paying attention and feeling into a situation, you'd know and recognize this pattern instantly, and you wouldn't give it your time, your emotions, your attention, because you know that this is part of some sort of cloak and dagger agenda. Instead, you would turn that energy back on yourself, this positive energy, this manifestation energy, and start to create a life that you desire, and a life that your family desires, a beautiful, peaceful, loving environment in which you want to thrive and move forward within your timeline of your life. There will be a lot of you that will be having this eureka moment during the up and coming months, where you suddenly decide that you're not giving it your time, attention, or power anymore. You're noticing that these distractions are draining you. They're taking the essence from you. They're stopping you from enjoying your life. Instead, they're putting you in a vibration of fear and lack. And you're not comfortable about being in that vibration because you're aware of it now. So there will be a lot of you that will be making these substantial changes in your own energetic being, choosing to manifest wisely, while instead of giving your power and energy away to those that do not deserve one iota of it. There's going to be lots of unfoldings in your society. This is just the tip of the iceberg, shall we say. It does run a lot deeper. There's going to be a lot of truths coming up to the surface, as we've said on here many, many times before. And as we've spoken about these previously, you will have observed many truths have come into the limelight, shall we say, albeit minuscule in comparison to the level of truth that is going to be exposed. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe fashion, it's coming forward, but you cannot hold or suppress the truth for much longer. So we encourage you to watch your vibration, your words, and mean what you say, and say what you mean, and stand in your truth, and be your authentic self in the beautiful vibrational essence that you are. When you vibrate and live in this vibration, you will notice that everything will change in your existence for the better. No longer will you be adding time and attention to things that make you feel ill or in unalignment with. This could be many things, such as jobs, such as commitments, such as relationships. If you're not feeling that, and if it's not your truth anymore, you will start to communicate in a way that is coherent to all those that are in the presence of you when you share these truths. Some will embody these truths and accept them. Others will feel the resistance and the barriers coming up when they hear them. We say that the truth is the truth, and you can divide it up as much as you want, but it will always be the truth. So we implore you to speak it, to live it, and come from a place of true authenticity, as this is the direction your planet is going. Obviously, there will be a contrasting vibration, those that do not wish to choose or embody the truth, and they will be living in resistance. They will be feeling tired, drained, lethargic. They will also be finding that life will present them with lots of stumbling blocks, and that flow of life won't be there for them. Obviously, it is there for them, but through their own choice of choosing not to follow the truth vibrations, then they imprison themselves in that energy, in stuckness, in not moving forward. So there's a great lesson to be learned for all of you, and this lesson is to know thyself, to stand in your truth and your authenticity no matter what, and feel into every decision that you happen to be making. Your emotions will navigate you in the path of least resistance, the path that will be in alignment with your calling and your purpose on this planet. So the choice is yours, but we implore you to trust your feelings. There is no right or wrong answer, only to trust, to come from the authenticity of who you are, and to follow your true essence. We thank you for taking the time out to listen to this transmission, and we hope it's given you some insight in where you are heading as a species in your society. We send you our love, we give you our healing, and we give you our blessings. Goodbye for now, and God bless.
If you don't mind, I'd like to come through. I'd like to share with you some other information to let you know that you're never alone. You are always looked after. We do apologize for the voice, as we are trying our best in order to communicate through the vessel at the best. But our message to you all is to be a beacon of hope, a beacon of love, and a beacon of peace and serenity in every moment that you are choosing to exist in. This is a very brave and courageous choice that you are making, but we trust that you will follow your truth and your authenticity. We send you our love and healing. God bless and goodbye for now.
Another fantastic communication there from the world of spirit. Fascinating to hear about us all being emotionally triggered, so watch out for that and don't react to it. Also that we're all going to be receiving some life lessons, and it's our choice whether to resist them or to walk through them confidently and clearly there. Stop keeping ourselves small as well. This is something that we're all guilty of, isn't it, at some stage of our life. And also, don't allow distractions to take you from your pathway, whether this is from the global or national news, or even people in your social circle, people that you're connected to, maybe friends and family. Drama and energy of that nature, don't allow that to distract you, to keep you off of your path there. And also, don't be afraid to show your truth, even if you're in the minority of one there. Keep shining your light, keep speaking from the heart there, as this is your divine life purpose, this is your divine right to do so, and it's what makes you unique. And also this will help other people to find their own divinity, their own divine spark within them, so that they can operate on the same vibration, again spreading that love and light where it is needed. And then wonderful to hear from the second communicator to inform us that we're never alone, even though sometimes we may feel alone. It's nice to have that reassurance from them as well there. And always be a vessel of love and spread that divinity wherever we happen to go. So again, fantastic communications there from the world of spirit. Really enjoyed that. So we're going to move on to the next section of the show, which is this week's forecast reading, the first one of 2025. So sit back, relax, take some notes with pen and paper if you feel you need to, and enjoy this week's forecast reading. Hello, my name is Glenn Boddice and I'm a spiritual medium, and welcome to this week's energy forecast reading for Monday, the 6th of January 2025. First of all, Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for your love and support. And first of all, let's consult the wisdom of my spirit guides and helpers, and also look into the wisdom of the angel tarot card. So what I'm about to do is shuffle the pack and allow a card to come out for this week's energy forecast reading. So this is your card for this week's forecast reading. I'm now going to link into the vibration of that. First of all, my guides are letting me know that be gentle with yourself this week. Some of you will want to run before you can walk. Pay attention to your physical ailments, your physical health as well. There's also an energetic overlay with the physical health. And what I'm feeling in particular is the lower part of your spine, as I feel as though a lot of you will be letting go of some of those old things that you used to do that no longer serve you on this trajectory on your timeline. So you will be feeling those niggles in the lower part of your spine. To remedy that, be gentle with yourself. Obviously do plenty of gentle movement there, but also be aware of those thoughts, those memories coming up to the forefront of your mind, as this is what is wanting to be released in order to release you of that pain in the lower part of the spine, and also those old vibrations there. Pay attention also to yourself, trying to, like we say, run before you can walk. And this week we'll see you being more gentle, more patient with yourself. However, there's this level of frustration that's coming to the surface because you're wanting everything here and now. My guides are saying it doesn't work like that. You've got to relax into life more. Take that element of needing to control a situation out of your vibration, because this year is going to be more about trusting, having faith, and connecting in with the world of the unseen, your higher self, your timeline. And when you release that urge to control life, life will flow for you, because you are a unique divine individual with a unique purpose. And once you realize that and stop trying to emulate everybody else's life and what they have and what they're doing, then your life will flow more effortlessly in your favor. Also pay attention to niggly sensations in the teeth area, particularly the top left upper low at the top of the side of the teeth there. To me, this indicates that there's an energetic change. You're becoming more sensitive to these new vibrations as we move into 2025. And a way that you can, again, get over those niggly feelings in the teeth there is to be gentle with yourself. Also watch your thoughts, watch your emotions. And when the two collide, they can create marvelous, in some cases, manifestations in your life. If you're not paying attention to your thoughts and emotions, you will manifest exactly what you are putting your focus on in that moment in time. So do be aware of that. Also notice some ringing in the ears, and this is again energy changing around yourself. So the core message is to be gentle with yourself, relax, have more patience, and trust what is about to unfold for you. There's going to be people that will push your buttons, obviously, to get a reaction out of you, and it's your choice whether you decide to engage in that communication or step back and again go into that trust vibration. Watch out for your heart chakra opening up. There's going to be marvelous opportunities in connection to love and romance. And it doesn't matter whether you're married, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're single, you're all going to experience that shift in your heart vibration. So pay attention to those feelings and let your guard down, and you'll be amazed at the marvelous results that come into your life as a part of doing that. So let's turn over the card, and at the top of the card it says number 3. So I'd like you to research the angel number of number 3. That is very prominent, very important as well for you. Also underneath that it says the Empress. So that is talking about taking your power back, trusting your divine intuition, and making decisions from that intuition there, and taking your power back by committing to change. Underneath that it reads Archangel Gabriel, so I'm going to feel into that vibration, and to me this is all about frequency change, alignment, music, and relaxing into life, so watch out for that. At the bottom of the card it reads, time to act upon your plans, creativity is rewarded, luxurious or abundant resources. Again, to me, this all circles around you relaxing into life, trusting your own unique divine path rather than following anybody else's. Because if you have a tendency to do that, then your life, this is where you're going to get those roadblocks, and your life's going to be very bumpy along the way. Instead, if you focus on what is meant for you, what is right for you by relaxing into life, then life will run a lot smoothly for you. Taking a look into the artwork around the edge of the card, we've got this beautiful colour of purple. to me, this is like a regal colour, so royalty. And this is watching your crown chakra as well, the inspiration, the guidance, and also the foresight that's going to be given to you during the course of this week. Also, this is talking about divine protection. So it's talking about, I believe, your spirit guides and helpers, family, friends and loved ones from the other side are around you to support, guide you and help you through this first week of the year. And they're going to instill that level of patience and trust and also belief, because they're going to bring the evidence right in front of your eyes, whether this is in the form of repetitive numbers, repetitive conversations even, or even words that you see flashing up in front of you, either on your phone or social media or even the TV there. So watch out for all of those things. It's also telling you that you're going to be very safe, very protected. So have that faith and confidence in every step that you walk at the first week of this year. Looking into the card itself in the artwork, we've got this divine, feminine, angelic being there. And this is talking about you trusting your intuition more so now than you ever have done before. Get out of your head and stop overthinking and overanalyzing, because this is how you've been stopping yourself from succeeding and expanding on your timeline. This year is all about trusting, going within, noticing those subtle feelings and acting upon them accordingly. Also, the fact that this angelic being, her wings are facing down, but they're illuminated there. So it's talking about taking that step back, having time to rest, to reevaluate, to refocus. And in doing that, this is where the inspiration will strike you. And this is where you'll get that definitive guidance that you maybe have been missing over the last 12 months. Well, this year, by relaxing and reevaluating, this is where the inspiration is going to come in. So it's going to save you all of that heartache. It's going to save you all of that wasted time on things that aren't going anywhere. And instead, it's going to give you that definitive clarity of what you're meant to do and what you're meant to avoid there as well. Also, this card is indicating there to stop, again, have patience and remember to rest, because this is where the power, your divine power, will be given back to you, where you can make yes-no decisions very instantaneously, whereas previously to that, you wasn't in a place. You was very mixed up in your mind and emotions. This will give you the clarity that you've been seeking there. Also, it's talking about connections of the past, whether this is friendships, whether this is business acquaintances, or just general connections. It's telling you just to, if they fizzle away, allow them to. Don't take this personally. Don't be negative about the situation. It's clearing your pathway for other opportunities, other people, other connections to come in. So don't feel that you're going to be left out in the cold. It's clearing the deck, so to speak, so new opportunities can enter your life again freely, and they'll flow to you rather than you chasing them. So that's what we've got for this week's forecast reading. Thank you for hearting, liking, commenting and sharing. If you've enjoyed this reading, you would like to help and support the work that I do, I have got a Buy Me a Coffee link either above or below this video, and this is a virtual tip jar, so all of your generous donations will be gratefully received and used in accordance to support the work that I do. Also, if you're interested in a private reading from myself or any other of my services, I have got a direct link in the description of this video, or there's a link in my bio, depending, well, any platform, and you can book in with me there. Join me every Monday, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, with my radio show From Beyond with Glenn Boddice, talking about all things spiritual, paranormal and self-help on www.pulsetalkradio.com at 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Have a wonderful new year, everybody, and sending lots of love and blessings. God bless and bye for now. Well, it sounds very encouraging so far, doesn't it, for our first week of 2025? So I hope that resonates with you and gives you some guidance. Can I ask if you have any questions to pose to the show and you would like us to answer them in great depth? Then send me a message to either my website, www.glennboddicespiritualmedium.com, or email me at glennboddice@live.co.uk. It would be fantastic to hear from you and get your feedback on the show as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's content and information from Spirit, channeled and also inspired. And join me next time on Monday, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, with this very show. Take care. God bless. Thank you for listening to From Beyond. For more information about what products and services Glenn provides, go to glennboddicespiritualmedium.com.